Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jake and welcome back to Space Engineers. Today we're going to be upgrading our welders so that they use the laser welders, which I believe will give them a higher range in welding, which means that we don't have to get so close. I may keep the welders that are currently on the welding stuff, if I show you an example. We may keep one of them having twin welders and the other one can have laser welders, which are these. WL laser welders. So there's a near one. Oh my god, what happened to the frame rate? There's a medium and a far. As you can see, they change shape because it's lasers. Yeah, they're not available for large ships, hence why we're using it on the small ones and not creating an entirely new one. What the hell happened to the frame rate? I'll be back in a sec when I fix the frame rate. Right, that's much better. Yeah, I'm still having frame rate issues after I spend a bit of time in a game. I will try to see which mods or what thing is actually doing it because, yeah, that's not happened before. So, where should I start with what I've done? So basically, I've been adding armor to this, the mining ship, and I've been changing the thrusters into sloped ones. I still have some work to do, but for now it's better, and it also has landing gear so that we can take it along for a ride, which is really useful. Yeah. By the way, since the last time we welded, I didn't mine any more resources and have a look at our iron. 1.3 million ingots, so that's 1,307,000. Yeah, 1,307,000. It's ridiculous. That's enough iron to do 1% of the station. Yeah. Right. So what we're going to be using our vast resources for is we're going to upgrade the welder, as I've said before. We're going to upgrade, I think, the one that doesn't have modified thrusters, as you can see. All of these are regular ion thrusters, whereas over here, some of them have been changed to level 1 thrusters, and this is because it needs to be faster. So, let's get this one, which I think is named something else. Let's check. The Voodoo Welder, because it mysteriously breaks every time I use it. And by mysteriously breaks, I mean I crash it a lot. Yeah, so we'll bring that out. We'll stick it on the underside, which is where we will work on changing out everything, retrofitting. I love the term retrofit. It means I don't have to build another ship, which is useful, but instead I'm just taking parts from a ship I've already got. I may also upgrade the thrusters for this because it is quite slow and there are a lot of thrusters which I don't need, kind of adding to the mass of it. Right, so let's park. Then turn it off, since you know, you're supposed to turn something off before you mess with it. It shouldn't have anything in its inventory. I'm speaking too quickly. Yeah, nothing in its inventory. We can leave the uranium in the fusion reactor, but yeah. First of all, we're going to need to get rid of these thrusters, because they're going to be in the way. So, if we have a look at the welders, they have a blacked out look because they're not DirectX 11, but they are still functional. I'll kind of make the ship look black so that helps. So, as you can see, if you can see kind of faintly, it's got conveyor connections on either side. Yeah, and we can actually fit 3 of these, so we can fit the near, the medium and the far in one row in a actually smaller space, since we won't need this curved conveyor bit. So I'm going to temporarily put all of the stuff that we get into here, so that it doesn't get lost into the system of never return. Yeah. Right, so we need to take down this welder. That was easy. Take down this welder. Actually, no, we don't have to do that. We can insert through here. because we may need the power. Actually, no, we will need the power cells later. We're actually going to need to produce more, so I will get like 20, 30, 40, 50 power cells under construction. Where are they? I'll build 100. It's not like, you know, I've not got enough resources. We're also going to need to take off these thrusters. Look at those teeny little landing gear. Right, I think... Yeah, so the rest of the thrusters should be attached to the ship. So let's just check. Yeah, so I can nudge this however I want. This is still attached. Good, right. Otherwise, I would actually have to break apart the entire ship before doing anything. Let's take out the other one. Good. Let's place it back into the cockpit, since we're going to need the resources later. And then we want to build these. As you can see, they're tucked in nicely so that the ship is going to actually be smaller, and it's going to be even smaller still when I upgrade the thrusters. So we need bulletproof glass. That's nice. Well, let's place them down using steel. Steel plate, that is. So we want the far, medium, near. Now what happens is when you're going into the tool config, you know, into here, there will actually be different groups. So far, medium and near. So basically this allows you to adjust how what the range of your welders are, which I think is a very, very good feature of this ship. Before I even build it, I'm calling it a feature. Wow, optimistic. Right, so extend this out, extend that out. Good. Yeah? Everything looks good. Looks kind of wonky, actually. But that's probably my screen doing something. Right, so we need construction components, small steel tubes. Let's see if we have any of those. We have these. We have these. What else do we want? We need motors. We can definitely supply motors. We also need bulletproof glass and computers. Computers, I believe we have. Right, let's weld as much as possible. I don't think the cost changes for either of them, so that should be fine. Right, oh, we ran out of computers, did we? Okay, well, let's go get some more. Since I did need some for some of the upgrades on the mining ship. 100, we want to throw away, no we don't, we want power cells. Right. There we go, the welders are complete. It looks black. As you can see, the kind of curve at the end changes, which is how you know what it looks like. I'll just throw everything in here since we have room. Now we just need to add back the thrusters. I'll be back in a second once that has happened. Right, there we go, the thing's welded. It did explode when I tried to use the other welder to weld it together, so the design may be a tiny bit different, but not that much. I've upgraded all the thrusters, as there are 2 in each of the strafing directions. There's 4 T1s in the heading forwards, and then there's 2 T2s heading backwards. The rest are T1s as well, so it should be more maneuverable than the last one. So if we enter here, let's turn on the power, undock the brakes. As you can see, it's quite nimble. Well, it was quite nimble to begin with, but it does accelerate quite decently, not to a G, but you don't need anything to accelerate to a G. Those of you who don't know, a G is 9.8 meters per second. So that's how much speed you get every second. So yeah, this is a good welding ship. Well, no, it's a good maneuverable ship. Let's see if it welds things properly. And also, I want to test the range. So we're going to do a kind of test course on top of the well, on top of the space station. So let me get my steel plate. that we should have an infinite amount of by now. Give me a second. All of you, you are now going to work on getting me all the light block in the world. About 60,000 should do. Yeah, let's nickel this. Nickel, or nick all, depending on how fast you say it. Yeah, so at current acceleration, 2 hours of fuel time. That's pretty good. We need to sort out weapons and tools. So get rid of that. We probably want this on like 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to need to move. So the connector's going to need to move, sadly. So we want far, we want medium, and we want near. And then we want to move the connector bit over here, and that's going to toggle lock, switch lock. Okay. So we can turn that off and off, switch lock. Good. So we can choose the far lasers, the far welders, the medium welders, and the near welders. We want to see how good this is, actually. So yeah, let's get out. Probably do it on the day side of the thing instead of the night side, because there is a day side night side because the sun is moving. The sun goes around the planets. Not scientifically accurate, but I guess it doesn't matter, it's a video game. We've had weirder stuff in a video game before. Right, so we're gonna have like a 4x4, a 5x5 grid of blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Right. I should really orientate myself properly. So this is going to be the target. We'll replace it after each use, or we could use the grinder ship, in fact, because that's got to be used for something. Right, so let's find the... Oh, it's disappeared. I'm really bad at navigation. I've lost my ship. Let me zoom out a bit. Am I blind? Answer to that question is yes. Oh, right there. Duh. It's very hard to spot something at a 360-degree sphere. Like, it's very hard to, you know, you're inside a sphere, so it's really hard to look at things. Right, let's get this. Right, so this is going to be testing the far, and it's also going to be testing how big the radius is. Not that I mind how big the radius is, it's just it's going to make less micromanagement. Oh, has the framiness come back? Yes. Well done, frames. You come back at the worst moment ever when I'm supposed to be welding things. It might be due to how many shadows are being, you know, rendered, so let's get rid of shadows. What do we want? Graphics. I'm on medium and it's bad. Shadows. Shadow quality. Disabled. It's temporary disabled. Nope, you're still back. However, the overall frame rate is improved, which is good. Right, give me a second whilst I reload the game. Okay, world reloaded again. Right, so we're testing the far lasers, so, you know, this kind of thing. It uses a decent amount of energy, 12 times of, like, regular movement, but that's fine. Actually, no. It uses, like, way less energy. Well, that's because it's on standby. Okay, so we need to test how far the fast setting is, and then we can judge if we actually need the other settings. So I'm holding down now, and we're just going to slowly approach. Slowly approaching. You know what, it might be because we don't have any steel plates, do we? No, because I'm an idiot. I can't move, thank you. I'm an idiot. There were no steel plates. How wonderful. Throw in connector 2. Oh god, right. Let's back up again and try that again, idiot. Yeah. Doesn't weld anything if it's got no plates in it. because I'm a dumbass. Right. Approaching again at about 1.1 meters a second, estimated to 1 decimal place. Currently 2 significant figures, though it probably increases. Just gonna move around like this because sometimes that works. Come on. Are you gonna weld it all? That's not far. That distance. Actually, technically, yeah. Right, it's not the range that I expected, but it does suit its purpose. It's probably got the same amount of range as the other welders, but actually, it's on a smaller ship, so yeah. We might actually get rid of the medium and near and just have the far setting, which means that we'd have like 6. Though I'd probably decrease it down to 4. So if we go back to the mothership, which is what I'm calling it currently, it will be changed when I have another capital ship, even though it's actually the size of a corvette. Or no, more of a freighter. Yeah. There's a class name for the surveyor, and I can't remember what it is. It's bigger than a corvette. It's not a military class vessel because it doesn't own any military ships. It doesn't have any military stuff equipped. It's probably a freighter, and it's a bit too small to be a frigate. Don't do that, you fool. Why do we have it automatically parking? Right, let's change that. Landing gears. Don't auto lock. Thank you. I want to lock. I want to lock when I want to. I only used it so that I could capture something. Right. Let's grind this down, shall we? Right, so we want welder. The far setting. Stick it on there. Let's do it with the other one. Right, so this should technically double the welding speed that we had before. Well, that we were using during the demonstration, which is good. And it's only got the far setting, which is also good, which means I can change this back. Give me a second. Because I really want to keep everything, you know, standardized. There we go, that's proper. Turn on, lock thing. Yes, good. It's also going to use less power now. Well, no, it's going to use slightly more power. Probably like when I have it on 15 days, is it? Yeah, 15 days, because it was using 30. Good. Right, we have a new welder ship. It's a bit smaller. And by a bit smaller, I mean, you know, it's very compact in comparison to the other one, which is over here. Let's do a side-by-side comparison, because that will be fun. Right, you there, please don't blow up anything whilst you're doing anything. Oh yeah, the new ship is was codenamed the Voodoo ship, because it explodes. It exploded whilst I was welding. Well, welding using this ship, because it welded everything simultaneously. Basically, I had this welder ship connected to this connector, which means it has the entire of the surveyor's inventory. This was parked here, activate welder, it was welding everything at the same time, and then everything changed state and everything blew up. Like this ship here blew up completely. This one, the welders were gone. The surveyor wasn't damaged anyhow, because, you know, these light armor blocks are ridiculously tough against small ships. Right, so side-by-side comparison, you can see that, you know, it's a bit thinner, it's gone on a diet, you've not got things sticking out. Let's do a rear comparison. You know, less space is being used, so you could fit more of these than these in a area, which is kind of cool. Also, I think it will use less power. though I'm not sure on that. I don't know what the difference is between the different things. But yeah, if I think it's actually got more forward thrust as well, which is good. Yeah. And also more braking power in the front axis. I don't even know what to call that axis. That axis, really, because it's not an XYZ, it's something else. Anyway, stop rambling, you fool. Yes, so we're still in construction of everything. Expect to see something done about that in a soonish manner, because I really need to stop procrastinating. Right, yes, that will do. We've got a new laser ship. No, it's not a laser. Well, technically it is a laser. Yeah, we've got a laser drill here, and we've got a laser welder here. We'll probably create more of these as I require them. Just spin round unnecessarily. Yeah. Looks kind of like a bug or something. I don't know. You know, like a fly with its wings tucked in or something. I don't know. It reminds me of something, and I can't describe it because I'm really bad at describing things. Well, anyway, that will do for now. So we have laser welder, laser miner, plenty of resources, and all I need is time. Luckily, I have tons of time right now. So we'll be back next episode, where I think I'll be doing some sort of thing with the station, or I'll be doing something in creative mode, if there is nothing to talk about in this save. Until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.